Hi and welcome to Movies Suck, and today we're going to have a look at the new Terminator Dark Fate trailer. Whoopee, because the last teaser trailer they did was just so exciting. We all looked at that and thought, yay, this doesn't look like a rehash of Ghostbusters, does it? This doesn't feel like they're just redoing stuff but with women instead of men. Oh fuck. Well, let's have a quick look. Whatever, let's do it.
Talk fast.
You first.
Well, Linda Hamilton got a bit more than she bargained for there, didn't she? Even though she must have already known that this is what this girl is like, since we're pretty sure that that bridge scene happened before the events of this. But, whatever.
First.
My name is Sarah Connor. August 29, 1997. It was supposed to be Judgment Day. But I changed the future.
Well there. But she changed the future? What, all on her own with no help at all? Really, did she? Let's look back to the events of Terminator 2, shall we? I seem to remember there was a John Connor? Little kid on a motorbike? Anyone else remember that? And there's this big guy. Who is that guy? Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yes, the T-800. Strange, I thought they were involved. You know, what with the whole blowing up Cyberdyne and destroying things, melting things in a vat that I don't remember her actually doing. Seem to remember that was John Connor and the T-800 themselves that destroyed the remaining bits of Terminator. Isn't this strange? So strange. I admit that she had a very, very big part in the whole thing, being like the psychotic, wayward mother who had like the goal to bring up John Connor because he was going to be the leader of the resistance in the future after Judgment Day. But I don't remember her doing it all herself. Is this some sort of feminazi taking over the world? We did it all on our own. We don't need those men or even robots that look like men. Probably. Let's have a little more of a look.
Saved 3 billion lives. Enough of a resume for you?
No.
Yeah, because she's probably actually seen the previous movies and is saying, what? No, you're lying, bitch.
You may have changed the future, but you didn't change our fate.
She didn't change the future on her own. You changed the future. Oh, no, she didn't. She had helped. They changed the future. Okay, come on, films. Try and tell the truth a little bit. This is just going to piss me off if this carries on like this. Well, that's rather interesting, isn't it? So we've got the mimetic polyalloy. I think that's what it was called in Terminator 2. And I don't know what the exoskeleton thing is made out of, probably titanium or something like that, joined together, which we saw in the previous film where she threw that metal rod and it grabbed all the metal rod and like sucked itself through the windscreen thing like those mimetic polyalloy guys do. And now we see it changing into two different forms. One is the skeleton has to stay the same, so it has no choice. And the other thing turned into a dog, or kind of like a dog. And it looks like it's about to run. Terminators don't often run. At least the old-fashioned T-800s don't run, they always just walk, sometimes a bit quickly, and then they do that funny joggy thing that we always remember Arnie doing.
I know you're scared,
It's a good landing, I'll give him that.
but I'm here to protect you.
Okay, this is something that's bothering me. The reason Arnold Schwarzenegger played the Terminator so well is because it's believable that you've got a big metal skeleton inside a really big, heavy, muscly looking guy. You're going to have a big, strong exoskeleton inside there, aren't you? Because you can make it pretty damn powerful when you hide it inside a big guy. If you take a small, thin, weedy woman, then you're going to reduce at least all those components by 3 times. So we're either looking at much more powerful advanced components, in the smaller frame, which are unlikely to be as durable because modern stuff tends to not be as durable as old, like, heavy-duty stuff. But the other question is, she is supposed to be human. Okay, so that means she's a cyborg. Now, a cyborg can be extremely powerful compared with a human, but it's unlikely to be as powerful compared to something that's purely mechanical. She's going to have squidgy bits in there. I don't know what particular squidgy bits. I doubt all her bones and everything have been completely replaced. They've replaced all of her bones, and they've covered her in a little bit of skin. How is she any different from the original T-800? Really? Because the T-800 was a metal skeleton covered in real skin and blood and stuff. So that's basically what she is, if she's going to be a cyborg of that type. Or is she basically just a robot with a human brain inside the skeleton? Because that still doesn't really make her very human anymore, does it? What is this flipping film all about?
Never seen one like you before. Almost human.
I am human.
There you go. There's the whole human-y thing. I am a human. Yeah? Really? Even though you can, like, fend off metal bars and you're actually as strong as other metal robot things, which are purely robots? Really? And yet you still claim you're human? I don't think so. Maybe she's trans. Robot to human, so she chooses to identify as a human. Very strange.
Just enhanced. Why do you care what happens to her?
Because I was her.
How was she her? Except obviously in the capacity that she was being chased by a Terminator. We assume that girl is being chased by a Terminator. It wasn't ever made especially clear in the teasers and everything, but we know that little girl is being chased by the Terminator, just the way that Sarah Connor was back in the original 1984 movie. But why is the Terminator chasing that little girl? We knew why the Terminator was chasing Sarah, and why the Terminator chased John Connor. But what is the purpose of chasing that little girl? This is not made clear at all. And where the hell is John Connor? John Connor, the pivotal figure in the whole Terminator franchise, the pivotal figure. We've got the most important three characters within the Terminator franchise being Terminator, John Connor, and Sarah Connor. These extremely important characters. Oh, hang on. I did just forget about Michael Baine's part there as well. And Michael Baine. So, yeah. 4 really, really important characters. One of them is a progenitor to the whole thing. When Michael Baine gets sent back into the past and he impregnates Sarah. And then they have John. Obviously, he dies before then. But where is John Connor here? Is John Connor on a beach somewhere? Is he doing other fighting stuff? If we're going to believe the leaks, then John Connor is dead. At this point, John Connor is dead. So, if John Connor is dead, how was Michael Baine ever sent back into the past, or the Terminator for that matter, to impregnate her, to have John Connor, for her to be here in this situation whereby she's going to be fighting Terminators? Because she had never heard of the Terminators before. There would be no reason for the Terminator to ever come back to the past to try and kill her. So, what the freaking fuck is going on?
I can see you're very upset.
Man, I'm freaking upset. I think everyone's freaking upset. What the hell is going on here? And how is Arnie here? He melted. He was all melted away. We had that great emotional ending in Terminator 2, and we said goodbye to the T-800. Very sadly, none of us wanted to, but that was the story. Without another one being sent back to the past, that original one is gone. So who is this guy? I have no idea. You tell me.
I'm going to help you protect the girl.
Nobody else is gonna die because of me!
I would like to be very excited about the fact that the guy from Deadpool is doing this film, because the original Deadpool film is pretty darn good. But if you look back in his IMDb at what he's done, he basically seems to only be interested in making cartoon comedies. Deadpool is the only real filmy thing he's actually done, aside from a couple of intros to other stuff, but that's basically it. Other than that, he just seems to want to make cartoon comedies. So why the hell is he directing this Terminator film? What the hell is going on? And why the hell are we seeing everything that's flipping happens in this Terminator film in the trailer? The only thing we're bloody missing is the dialogue. I'm sure the dialogue's not that great, but especially since they seem to require so many people to write this film. I seem to remember there were like 5 different writers involved in the story, 3 different writers involved in trying to write the screenplay. So no wonder this thing seems so messed up.
If you don't make it!
And will someone please stop using these small arms fire on Terminators? We know it doesn't work. At best you might slow them down a tiny little bit. And with the mimetic polyalloy, okay, you're going to slow it down a little bit because the mimetic polyalloy gets holes in it. It doesn't operate quite as well for a second. But against one that's got all internal mechanics, then no, it's not even going to slow it down unless it's really heavy. I mean, the original T-800 would shrug off machine gun fire and things. So why do you think it's going to be bothered by you firing a little 9mm at it? It's not even going to blink at the idea of firing 9mm at this thing. It's just ridiculous. They should be using like BMGs, 50 BMGs all the time and rocket launchers and shit. It just makes no sense to be using these crappy little firearms.
Everybody dies!
Expect a big ping, brother. The whole body.
If only everybody did die, then maybe this crap wouldn't have been made.
He's a weapon. Sorry.
Okay, I do not want to give that guy a hug. If that guy ever comes up to me saying, "Yay, buddy," I'm going to say, no, thank you. I'll keep my distance. Actually, pretty cool scene. I reckon that guy is actually going to be pretty good in this film. I'm looking forward to seeing him in this film. Everyone else? Meh. Well, Okay, that scene wouldn't be possible if that guy had the skeleton inside himself. So at that point, we're looking at the mimetic polyalloy guy, where they've split apart. And as we know, doing that isn't going to destroy him. That's just going to chop him up for a second, he'll reform and then carry on. So, that's cool, and I have a horrible feeling that we're supposed to be seeing like almost the very end of the film in that scene, but we'll see.
When this is all over, I am going to kill you.
I understand.
I understand too, the Terminator has to die. Obviously, all the Terminators have to go. You can't leave any of them lying about the place, waiting to turn up again. Even though obviously Arnie is always the good guy, except in the first film, which arguably is still the best, depending on how you want to look at it. Yet more pointless machine gun fire to the face, knowing it's got a metal internal skeleton, and shooting it with a machine gun in the face. How is that going to be any use whatsoever? You should have stuck it in the shoulder and shot him a whole load of times in the shoulder. All you're going to do shooting in the face is just going to distract him for a little bit, while his optical sensors probably get a little bit haywire for a second. Well, maybe that's the idea. And why the hell, if you're trying to protect that girl from being killed because you need her alive for whatever reason, maybe she's like going to be the mother of the future of John Connor's son or something or other, who's now going to be the new leader of the resistance in the future, or whatever. Of course, I know this is a feminist film, so actually she's supposed to be the new leader of the resistance, because John Connor's supposed to have died at the start of the film by getting shotgunned in the face by the guy that's now Arnie, or whatever. Let's hope that sort of crap isn't in this film, because otherwise that completely undermines the previous 2 films. The great 1984 Terminator. Wow, that was a effing fantastic freaking film. I love that film. Still probably my favourite. I mean, the scene at the end where the skin and everything's been burnt off of the Terminator, and he's coming down that corridor chasing after Michael Bay and the Sarah Connor. That was just a fantastic scene. That still resonates in my mind. When I think Terminator, that's the scene I think of. And then, obviously, if I go a little bit further into Terminator lore, then I start thinking about the scene where T-1000 is chasing John Connor in the lorry down the, whatever that was, the canal or something, drainage ditch. Man, these are fantastic films, and they're destroying the history of the films by changing everything. Why do they want to change everything? What is the purpose? It's just wrong. Why can't they make a sequel that actually continues on from where it left off? make a few changes, sure. I mean, let's say Judgment Day didn't happen, but it is still going to happen. And who didn't want to see John Connor grown up being that badass that we saw glimpses of? Who didn't want to see that? We all wanted to see that. That would have been so cool. And then some new kind of future and how it changes, but oh well, I guess this is the end of the trailer.
I'll be back.
Honestly, I'm actually glad she's back, because I really liked her in the original films, but I'm very worried that her character in this film is going to, well, it certainly does, sound too full of itself. She was a much more humble kind of character in the original films. I mean, the first one, she's scared, she's terrified, she's just trying to survive. The second film, she's a badass bitch who can really handle herself. And obviously she's still supposed to be that badass bitch, but when she was a badass bitch in the second one, she was still full of humility. She knew what she was up against, and the odds of winning were so slim. This one, she just seems like, yeah, I'll handle it, no problem. You need the doubt. You need that slight bit of doubt to give the film a sense of the possibility of things not working out. You need that. If everything feels like it's just going to be fine and perfect all the time, you might as well be Superman. Superman's never going to be bothered by anything except obviously throw a bit of kryptonite at him, but without the kryptonite, there's nothing. Superman just walks over everything, he steamrolls everything. And we don't want her to be the same way. You want there to be the sense that this might not work out, this might go wrong, she might not live, she might not win. None of them might. You really got that in the previous films. You really got that. I'm really glad they're going to scrap everything that came after Terminator 2. But this film has a lot of questions and a lot of worries. And I, for one, I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to go see it. But I'm just praying I don't hate it. And I'm also praying that what we saw in the trailer wasn't basically every kind of action scene in the whole thing, because otherwise I'm going to be extremely disappointed. I really don't like watching trailers. I only watch a trailer of a film if I'm worried the film's not going to be very good, so I'm trying to encourage myself to actually watch it. Ah well. We will see. I am looking forward to it though. I'm sure you guys are looking forward to it as well. And I'm sorry if I pissed everyone off by slamming this trailer so much, but it deserves it. The script and everything else deserves it. The possibility of the leaks, which I've heard about, they all deserve it. And unfortunately, what we see on the screen is not assuaging those fears. But we will see. This is Movie Suck, signing out. Leave a like, subscribe, share, all that stuff. I will catch you guys on the flip side.